Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely upgrade how you think about human potential. We'll be doing this by treating your personal well-being like a brilliant, interconnected operating system. Just like a computer needs hardware and software working in perfect unison to run smoothly, your life requires an integrated approach to truly flourish. Let's get started.
Okay, let's contrast the old, broken definition of success. The one that tells you to maximize isolated achievements until you completely burn out, with a totally new, holistic approach. We all know the classic story, right? The executive who made millions but absolutely destroyed their health and their family in the process. True success isn't just about crushing it in one single area. Instead, it's about harmonizing interconnected life dimensions and achieving holistic well-being. When we focus on just one thing, we risk a massive system failure everywhere else. Think of this as our system boot-up menu. Today we'll cover 1. The human operating system, 2. Biology and inner resilience, 3. Relationships and prosperity, 4. Creativity and spiritual alignment, and finally, 5. The life harmony engine. Let's jump right into section 1, the human operating system and the illusion of isolated success.
Now, look at this quote. We absolutely have to reject this old idea that the mind and body are totally separate. The body is the biological interface through which awareness experiences reality, expresses purpose, and serves others. It is the literal hardware running your life. You can't just focus on cultivating a brilliant mind while completely neglecting the biological machinery that powers it. Moving right along to section 2, biology and inner resilience. We're upgrading the hardware and the inner software. So this brings us to our first core engine, the Biological Performance Engine, or BPE. It integrates nutrition, movement, and recovery to maximize your body's ability to express its highest potential. Emphasizing physical health here isn't about vanity or looking good in a mirror. It's actually a profound act of stewardship over your biological energy, so you can literally execute the things you're meant to do in this world. And health actually improves through this continuous cycle. You go from nutrition and movement, which naturally generates energy, and that drives performance. But, and this is crucial, you must prioritize recovery to drive adaptation, which ultimately leads to better health. This shows us that energy is a biological resource we have to actively cultivate, not just something we passively consume or hope to have. Think about it. If you aren't recovering, you aren't adapting, and your system will eventually crash. So that's the hardware. Now we need to install the software for the mind, the Emotional Intelligence and Resilience Engine, or ERE. The really important point here is that mental well-being isn't the magical absence of difficulty. It's not about never feeling stressed. It's having the built-in inner stability to regulate those difficult emotions, recover from adversity, and respond wisely, so you can keep growing through life's inevitable curveballs. To process all this, we use this awesome tool, the Emotional Balance Canvas. Picture this. You get a crazy, frustrating email from a colleague. Instead of firing back instantly, you hit pause. You map your current emotion and its trigger, examine the thoughts racing through your head, look for the actual evidence for those thoughts, and then check your deepest values before deciding on an action. It's a structured, methodical way to choose a response that lines up with who you want to be, rather than just reacting blindly. All right, let's look at section 3, relationships and prosperity, the outward engines. First up on our outward network is the Human Relationship Engine, or HRE. This is a relational operating system built on communication, trust, and empathy that transforms basic awareness into enduring human connection. Every relationship is essentially an encounter between two completely different architectures of awareness. Think about that for a second. You're interacting with an entirely different history, family background, and emotional world. That requires immense empathy to actually connect. Now, to really upgrade our approach to prosperity, we've got to completely redefine some common terms. Career is not just employment, it's purpose through work. And wealth is not mere accumulation, it's stored value for stewardship. We're shifting our mindset away from simply making a living to making a meaningful contribution and treating money as a tool to help others rather than just points on a scoreboard.
And this upgraded mindset is exactly what powers the Value and Prosperity Engine, or VPE. It transforms your unique skills and purpose into meaningful service, value creation, and a lasting legacy. The golden rule here, income always follows value. When you channel your abilities into solving real, meaningful problems for other people, whether that's designing a killer app or fixing a neighbor's plumbing, sustainable prosperity is just the natural byproduct.
Next up, Section 4, Creativity and Spiritual Alignment, Ascending to the Cloud. Consider this really powerful idea. Creativity is the bridge between imagination and reality. Self-expression is the bridge between who you are and what the world experiences through you. Creativity isn't just limited to artists painting on a canvas. Absolutely not. Every single human being is both the architect and the artwork of their own life. You're constantly creating reality through your choices, your business, your family, and your daily actions. I want you to ask yourself this fundamental question. What could exist that does not exist today? It's basically the ultimate diagnostic check for your creative dashboard. It challenges you to look past what's simply efficient or standard right now and start imagining what is genuinely possible to build, create, or improve in the world around you. And that imagination sparks this continuous 6-step cycle. You observe the world around you, you imagine something better, you design a solution, you create the prototype, you share it generously with others, and finally, you learn and improve based on their feedback. It's a constant, iterative loop of adding value to the world. At the absolute peak of the system is the Spiritual Alignment Engine, or SAE. This is the highest integrative engine, and it's focused on becoming increasingly aligned with God, truth, love, wisdom, and faithful service. Vitally, spiritual maturity isn't just about having some passive belief or intellectual knowledge. It is about actively integrating love, truth, and humility into your everyday actions and your service to others. Finally, we reach Section 5, the Life Harmony Engine, the Master Dashboard. So how on earth do we run all these complex biological, relational, creative, and spiritual engines at the exact same time without crashing the whole shebang? Well, it's simple. Life is not about maximizing one dimension. It is about harmonizing all dimensions. Having perfect balance every single day is a complete myth. Life naturally moves in seasons, right? Seasons of building your career, seasons of healing, seasons of raising a family. So our goal has to be intentional harmony over time, prioritizing what matters most in our current season without completely neglecting the rest. This is exactly what the Life Harmony Engine, the LHE, is built for. It's the master integration engine that continuously aligns health, relationships, career, creativity, and spirituality into one coherent, flourishing life. Think of this engine as your ultimate control panel. For instance, if you're working 80-hour weeks and skipping meals, your control panel should be flashing a massive red warning light. It's the system that prevents you from gaining massive wealth at the devastating cost of your health or your family. It keeps the whole system communicating and aligned. To track this, you can use the Wheel of Life. It monitors 8 crucial pillars: spiritual harmony, personal identity, physical vitality, mental stability, relational flourishing, meaningful work, lifelong learning, and creative expression. Check this monthly, kind of like a diagnostic scan, to instantly see which areas are thriving and which need immediate maintenance before a massive system crash occurs. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a really provocative thought to chew on. If someone looked back on my life many years from now, what would they say I consistently stood for? I challenge you to think about the legacy you're designing right now with your very own human operating system. What are you building? Thank you so much for joining me, and I highly encourage you to start harmonizing your system today.